Alright. It says streaming, but I don't know where it's streaming to. I don't know if it still has it for YouTube or if it's Twitch. Oh no, it's on. No, it's on YouTube. Okay, let me Alright, let me fix this. Alright, hello? Alright, good. Eventually I'll have to figure out the audio and whatnot. You know what? I'm probably gonna turn off my air conditioner 1 second. Okay, let me fix this. Alright, we're gonna figure this out eventually. But, as for right now, hello everyone. This is the first podcast. I don't know what to call it, but it is a podcast. Okay. I'm still learning OBS and the live stream settings. So if the audio sounds bad, actually, I don't know if the audio sounds bad. Let me go see. So if the audio sounds bad, actually, I don't know if the audio sounds bad. All right, Bama, you just talk real quick.
Yes.
All right, I don't have to pick that up. All right, Bama, you just talk real quick. Okay. Well, all right. We're still trying to get this all situated, figured out, whatnot. But I pretty much know I can move the screen and whatnot. Eventually, as I learn, I'll become more accustomed to this. But right now, we're just testing the waters, seeing what's going on. Uh, my audio output's like not right. Oh well. Show must go on. Anyway, guys. So it's I don't know what to call a podcast, but we're here. I wanted to do this at the beginning of the season, but obviously I didn't know much about OBS or how to live stream through my computer because I didn't want to do it on my phone. I'm using that to monitor the chat and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna be scrolling through your comments and talking about the weekend, what happened over the weekend, and yeah, it's pretty much the basics. So it's baby steps. Simple title. Well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't make a title when I clicked live because I'm streaming from OBS. It doesn't let me do that. So, Bam is not here, so it's just gonna be me.
I mean, I am, but I'm.
Oh no, you're here. Okay. I don't think they can hear you, but that's fine.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to have to do something anyway.
Okay.
I'll be back. It won't take but a minute.
All right. That's fine. I'll just go, and then eventually I'll get in. So, Las Vegas, and this is Discord, by the way, as you can see. There's my profile picture. You know what? I can try and zoom in here so you can see my profile picture. It's a bear. Let me zoom it in a little more. It's a bear holding a teddy bear. That's what my picture is. All right. So now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and talk about what happened in Vegas as I'm trying to, make this smaller. This will be easier if I knew this beforehand. But, first podcast, yep. Fresh Pie, what up, what up? Alright, we're about to get started. So, that's me on the left with the bear picture, and on the right, that's Bama with Nick Saban, the coach. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about what happened in Vegas, as I keep reiterating over and over again. So, from what I understood, the Cup race, and Jeff Gluck's poll made it obvious, probably one of the better Las Vegas races we've had. I think there's no doubt about that. There were 27 lead changes in that race. 27. And you're gonna struggle to hear Bama a little bit, but I'm gonna do my best and make sure that you guys can hear him. So, actually, let me do this. I hope it still picks up my audio. I hope. I gotta see if it sounds good. I'm still going through the motion, guys. I'm sorry. See if it sounds good. I'm still going through the motion, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, I just can't be as loud. Bama, talk real quick.
Kentucky.
Okay. Alright, I just can't be as loud. Bama, talk real quick.
Kentucky.
Okay. Alright, that'll work. That's fine. So, Las Vegas happened, and it was one of the better Cup races that we've had in a long time there at Vegas. Quite a bit of battles for the lead. They were 3 wide at one point for multiple laps for the lead. And it's not like as soon as the leader got the lead, they would just drive away. No, second place could catch back, pass them. They could go top, bottom. Could be any or the middle. Middle kind of worked too, but in the end, Kyle Larson was able to find the bottom and the top better than anyone else. And he cruised to a win. His first win since Dover back in 2019 in the fall. Back when he was racing for Chip Ganassi. And Ganassi, this boy's not doing too good right now. Still early on in the season. But so far we're through the first 4 races of the Cup Series. Bama, who do you think has shocked you the most in the beginning of the season?
Well, Michael Mcdowell is probably the easiest bet on that right now.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want me to say somebody that's really been contending up front, though, that's really surprised to me, I would probably have to say William Byron.
Yeah, I would say Byron too. Him and Rudy Fugle, they've only worked together for one season, and that was the season when Byron won 7 or 8 truck races, and came up short because of an expired motor at Phoenix. But it's starting to look like the 2014 they're on the come up. Seems like the combination of William Byron and Rudy Fugle are going to be a dynamic duo. I wouldn't go as far as to say, like Johnson and Knaus, but they've had that connection that's similar, where they're both on the same pages, and they both know what it takes to get the job done. And, I mean, right now, he's done a pretty good job so far. I mean, after the first 2 weeks, wrecked out the 500, then didn't have a good roval either. And, heading into Homestead, I kind of figured that, he was due for a good run. Yeah, right now he's got a good run going right now. Trying to look at where he's at in points. This is just regular points, not the chase points. He's 11th. He's 11th in points right now. So he's got a win, a top 5, and 2 top 10s this year, including the stage win, which that in itself is pretty amazing, especially given the circumstances. It was like, it's going to be the 11 or the 19, and then they almost wrecked each other for him. Byron just scoots by on the bottom and gets it. But yeah, like you said, Michael Mcdowell, he certainly shocked everyone. He split as I like to say, he split the sea. Because split the gaps in the sea, because Keselowski went one way, Logano went the other, and the seas parted. That's what I like to say. That's what I'm thinking of. The seas parted, and he just went right through the middle and won the 500. And then the next week, you know, he gets a top 10 at he gets a top 10 at the road course. Yeah, he gets a top 10 at the road course, and then you're thinking, okay, well, it's probably going to die off at Homestead, but no, he gets sixth. He gets sixth at Homestead.
That to me was probably more shocking than even the 500 win, maybe.
I would say that's more shocking too, because he was outside the top 10 and he drove in, and he was catching Kevin Harvick in the last few laps. He didn't have enough to get a top 5, but he got 6th place finish. So he finished in the first 3 races. He finished first. I want to say 7th or 9th. It's either one. And then he finished 6th at Homestead. And then at Vegas, I believe he finished...
Wasn't it like 17th?
17th, yes. So you kind of figured that it would end at some point. But...
And he still had a better day than some good cars.
Oh, yeah. I think he had a better day than Kevin Harvick.
Speaking of... That's a whole nother subject.
That is a whole nother subject. Let me go back and look at the Vegas. That's not what I want to click on. Okay. Because Kevin... we'll touch up on Kevin Harvick. But, yeah, McDowell finished 17th, and Kevin Harvick finished 20th. Yeah. Him and... I feel like Stewart Haas as a whole, and you think that too, they have not had a good start to the year. Not at all.
I would say biggest disappointment.
Yeah, biggest disappointment.
Was Kevin Harvick in Stewart Haas race.
Yeah, because you look at...
They don't look anywhere close to a race
no. I mean, the points say a different story, as he's 7th right now. He's got 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s, but he's just not up there leading laps like the rest of the guys.
You don't see that raw speed out of the car that you saw a year ago.
No. No, it's a clear difference this year. He's only led 17 laps this year.
Even when he wasn't winning last year, he was still a factor. See, this year he's not a factor at all.
Yeah, he's like riding the back part of the top 10-ish, top 15 maybe. And like I said, Stewart Haas as a whole, they are not as fast as they once were, say, last year. Where, you had Harvick winning, and then you had Boyer, who was, he was kind of up there. Almirola, he was up there at times too. Cole Custer was kind of towards the back. He's still young. He'll get adjusted. You got to give it time. Like, you got to give Byron time to get good, But yeah, as I look in the points, the highest one is Kevin Harvick. He's 7th. That's just regular points. His
I want to
teammates...
touch on Eric Almirola and where he's at in points, if you have seen that.
His teammates are 19th. Custer's 19th in points. Eric Almirola is 28th in points. I passed Briscoe. Briscoe's 26th. So, 7th, 19th, 26th, and 18th, or 20th in points, sorry. That's not a good look for Stewart Haas, considering, let's take a look at some of the guys that are ahead of them. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't expect Almirola to be behind Anthony Alfredo in points. He's a rookie, and he's not in the best equipment either, but, let's see, Daniel Suarez is ahead of Briscoe and Almirola, and that's a new team. They're still trying to feel the waters there. I'll take a look at who's ahead of Custer in points. Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher has shocked us this year already with his run at Homestead. Although, for granted, it was only when the sun was up, and then as soon as the sun set, that was it. But, just gotta go with the flow, I guess. But I mean, Haas is just they're just not the dominant Ford team this year. Whereas, prior years you could say it's either them or Penske, but this year it's clearly Here, I'll tell you what. The top 3 teams this year, it's Hendrick, Penske, and Gibbs. Because throughout the race yesterday, those were the only cars I saw in the top 10. Very rarely did I see, like, Harvick go in the top 10. Or, any other drivers because pit strategy, whatnot, green flag pit stops. Top 10 throughout the whole day was. Actually, let me go look at the top 10. It seemed to me like the top 10 was mainly Larson, Byron. Throughout times, Chase Elliott and Bowman would swap. You had all of Penske in there at one point. Logano, Keselowski, Blaney. And then you had all of Gibbs in there at one point. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex. Those were the main guys that were in the top 10. So let's see. Larson, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, the top 5. Then the top 10. Truex, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Joey Logano, and then Eric Jones. Eric Jones is a surprise top 10. His 4th race with the new team. Gotta look at that as a win for the team.
Another team that's quietly having an okay season compared to at least last year. If you look at like points and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Finishes. JTG Daughtry and Ryan Preece and Ricky Stenhouse, 13th and 17th in points.
Yeah, I'd say I'm more impressed with Ryan Preece because he's not guaranteed a full-time ride this year. They're just testing the waters.
No, they're in the playoffs right now.
They're testing the waters part-time with a second car to see if they should continue operations for the second car or just stick to it being a one-car team. But Ryan Preece he's done a pretty good job this year so far. I mean, he's starting to fall back now. He's 13th in points, but he's got 2 top 10s this year. One of them being in the 500, then the other one, I believe was the road course.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know what the other race was, but I'm gonna assume it was the road course.
Well, let's just put this into perspective because you saw Kyle Busch. He got a top 5 just last Sunday. He's behind Ryan Preece in points. Just pointing that out. I mean, it's still like a struggle to Kyle Busch, but he got a top 5. This is one top 5 of the year. He had another top 10. I want to say at the road course. No, or was it Homestead? I can't tell. It was a track in Florida. That's all I know. But you gotta take a look at the 37 a little bit. And they're going to Atlanta. Correct? They're going to Atlanta? Yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on that team. See how well those guys are doing. On the mile and a half. Let's touch up on Xfinity now because I felt like we got off topic with the Cup race. I think arguably the Xfinity race was probably the best race of the weekend. The Cup race was pretty good.
Honestly, yeah, the truck race was pretty good, honestly.
Truck race was good too. Cup race was.
All of them were not bad.
Yeah, all of them were pretty decent. But the one that stuck out to me in my mind was the Xfinity race. Had Cindric, who had an issue. He had a flat tire, and then they wrecked behind him. So it kind of helped him out with the yellow there, but he never fully recovered from it. And it seemed like, for the longest time, Daniel Hemrick was going to end up winning the race.
Yeah, that another heartbreaker.
He led the most laps in the race. I'm trying to pull it up now and see how much he led. But another sort of upset pick. AJ Allmendinger, he's got his second win on an oval.
And it's odd because what I thought if he'd have won the first 4 races, that'd be the track. No, I'd have thought it'd have been either of the Daytona races. But AJ Allmendinger led a handful of laps at Vegas and at Homestead, and actually at every race.
Yeah, Daniel Hemrick led a race high 74 laps. And I mean,
that's not the first time he's done that in Austin.
Right. I mean, you said it before the start of the season, where it sort of caught me by surprise seeing him go to JGR, but you said it best, where this year this is basically his last shot, because he's been in RCR equipment, he raced in Junior Motorsports equipment, and Junior Motorsports he'd either finish in the top 5 or he'd wreck out. It would be either one.
Usually it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it wouldn't be his fault fully, but sometimes it'd be. So just gotta point out here that you said at the beginning this is his last chance at getting a competitive ride or staying in NASCAR, because if he can't do anything in Gibbs equipment, then Can't do anything in any equipment. And that second place
And
finish
so
he had
far,
at
it's going
Vegas, it was his 9th second place finish of his career in the Xfinity Series. 9 times he finished second, but he hasn't won yet. The wins are going to come for that team because you look at what that team's been able to do this year so far. He's got a top 10 in every single race. He's got 3 top 5s. He's arguably, this is very early on, but he's arguably one of the more consistent cars where he could be a factor if everything plays out in the championship. Or my bad, they're not going to. I thought they were going to Atlanta next week. They're going to Phoenix next week. That's my bad. So we'll have to see. This is another interesting strategy. This is kind of looking into next week also. Seeing what the cars for like the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, Cup Series, see what those guys are running. Because that'll probably give us an idea of who's going to be faster than the other come down to championship time. Got to keep that into consideration. Let's go to the Trucks. Truck Series. That was a pretty interesting race in itself. You kind of figured, Kyle Busch was going to win, but didn't think that he'd win as the truck owner. You thought he'd win as the driver. John Hunter Nemechek. Tell you what, he's my favorite to win the championship. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you saw how well he's been doing, in the 8 truck from his father for Nemco. And you just put him in like something that's obviously it's better than what he was running before. You're going to see a completely different John Hunter in the Truck Series. He could easily get 5 wins this year if everything plays right. Shoot, he could get more. Just got to point out John Hunter. He held off Kyle Busch, technically. I mean, I've kind of felt like Kyle laid off. So he could get his truck to win. His truck's finished 1-2. But I feel like you're going to see a different John Hunter Nemechek this year. The first 2 races, though, there was a complete shock. Ben Rhodes with the last lap pass at Daytona. Really wanted to see Corey Roper win, but...
Yeah, everybody. I would have.
Yeah. And then he went out and he won the Daytona road course courtesy of Sheldon Creed, stalling his truck while trying to say fuel under caution. You never do that. Have you not seen Marcos Ambrose at Sonoma? You just can't do that. So it was kind of a shock to see. It was a shock for me to see him win 1 race. See him win 2 in the same season? That's unbelievable. And I mean, I'm not saying that Ben Rhodes is a bad driver. I'm just saying that, he's just not one where it's like you expect him to win. You don't expect him to win. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. So, just going over the truck race, John Hunter Nemechek led 94 laps out of the 134 they ran.
That's pretty dominant.
It is pretty dominant. Kyle led 16. 4 laps went to Stuart Friesen. Stuart Friesen, it seems like to me this year he's going to bounce back after they switched last year from GMS equipment to KBM equipment in Toyota, and then having the pandemic hit and no practice, no qualifying, nothing to sort of help them. So you saw them struggle a good bit, saw them in the middle of the pack. This season, even though he's only got 1 top 5, 1 top 10, he's running closer towards the front now than what he was last year. So I think as the season progresses, you're going to see that team start to pick up the pieces that they were trying to lay down last year. Let's go ahead and look at... I mean, right now, Grant Enfinger, I feel like he should have a full-time ride. But as I'm looking at the driver points right now, he'd be 7th in points. And that's after missing the race.
And he had a phenomenal run in the 9. Phenomenal run in the 9.
Right. It was a new truck from Cody Rohrbaugh, and they prepped it pretty good for him. As for Sheldon Creed, kind of expected him to get a win on the Daytona road course. The defending truck champ. I feel like he's
It'll
going to be
come.
fast. He's still going to be fast this year.
He'll be Final Four, I think.
Yeah, definitely has the possibility of being in the Final Four. Matt Crafton, he's looking fast,
He's quietly consistent.
quietly. Yeah. Uh, I don't know if this is just because of the state of the truck series or whatnot, but Johnny Sauter's ninth in points, and I feel like he's done nothing this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like he's lost his stuff, and that he should essentially retire after this year. That's basically what I'm getting at. He's ninth in points, but he's got no top fives, no top tens, no nothing. So it's just, I mean, I get the consistency in having to stay ninth because the drivers behind him in points like Carson Hoskovar, Hovercar, like I say, he's got a top five and a top 10. Austin Hill just got his first top five and top 10 of the season. Christian Eckes has two top 10s. Zane Smith, he's struggled at the start of the year. There's no doubt about it.
Very.
He's 14th in points. Rafael Lessard, kind of expecting him to be around where he is. But Brent Moffitt, that's a whole different ballgame. New truck,
That's all these.
new team, going from GMS to Nice Motorsport, and he's not even the highest Nice truck in points. It's Carson Hoskovar, so it's interesting there. Kind of expect Moffitt. You know what? I'm gonna make an early prediction for next week. Going to call it that Moffitt's gonna finally get out of his slump and he's gonna win the truck race at Phoenix. He's just gonna get out of the slump because how do you get out of the slump? You gotta win.
Do trucks have a race this weekend?
I think well, let me go back and look. No, their next one's Atlanta, so my bad. I'm all mumbo jumbo over here. So the next truck race, Brad Moffitt's going to win. He's going to pull through. He's going to finally get a, because he doesn't have a top 5, top 10, nothing. He's going to at least get a top 10, but I feel like he's going to contend for that win and come out with the victory. What's your
That
pick?
would be a big statement to run up front with Kyle Busch at Atlanta.
You got any predictions for the truck race at Atlanta coming up?
Kyle Busch.
If he's if he's racing, then probably gonna be the
He
favorite.
is.
Let's get into Phoenix. I want to get into Phoenix. Last time they went there, we crowned champions Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Going back there with the short track package that they ran in the fall. Do you think that someone's going to dethrone them this week? Or do you think they're going to pull through and, just go back to winning like they did in November?
That's honestly a tough question.
I mean, I feel like for the Xfinity Series, I feel like Harrison Burton's going to get his first win of the year because right now in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series, we've gotten 4 different winners in the first 4 races. I feel like we're going to see that streak continue for the Xfinity Series. I think Harrison Burton's going to come through and win.
Keep your eyes on Justin Allgaier at Phoenix this week.
That is a good track for
Allgaier's
Allgaier.
very good there.
It is a good track. As for the Cup
He's all
Series,
freaking underwhelming.
yeah. I'll before we get to the Cup Series, I just want to say I feel like this is going to be his last year to prove that he's got enough to win the championship. Because I feel like if he doesn't win this year, he's not going to win any year. Allgaier. He's getting up there in age, and I just think that with his daughters growing up right in front of him, I've started to feel like he'll ease back from racing and then just spend more time with his family, like you're seeing a bunch of these other guys do, which I understand that because they're on the road so much. They're away from their families a lot and kind of miss your children growing up because you're, at a different track every weekend in the country. Yeah, that's just my little take on that. Now let's get to the Cup Series where, it could be anyone's game this week. I believe this is the first race. Yeah, this is the first race with the short track package. You're going to see some more skilled guys like say Stenhouse. Stenhouse has been on quite of a tear this year so far. You're gonna see more short track guys like Stenhouse. I'd say Chris Buescher even. Uh, Ryan Preece. You're gonna
I
see.
know who my favorite.
You're gonna see those guys up in the top 15-ish range, but maybe top 10. You said you already have your pick in.
I I don't want to base it off of last year or the last couple of years, but I think Chase Elliott's finally going to have that really good race that they've not been able to put together. I kind of feel like they pick up where they.
You mean like start to finish, where like they just dominate from the start and then just continue throughout the race? I'm guessing that's what you're going for. See, I kind of feel like we're going to have a different winner again this week. And it's not going to be like a new guy, like a guy you never saw win last year.
It's going to be a veteran. But
it's going to be a veteran win, yes. It's going to be a veteran win. Veteran's going to win. Your first four winners this year: Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Kyle Larson. I don't think, well, other than Kyle Larson, I don't think we expected any of those guys to win. Definitely didn't expect McDowell to win. Christopher Bell kind of expected him to, step up a little bit because he went from the 95 to the 20. And then Byron, I don't think anyone had expectations for Byron running up front, even winning a race or two this year. So he's already proven those people wrong. We haven't seen Harvick win, Hamlin, Keselowski, Logano. Guys that won a good bit last year. That they're just not doing it this year.
And I feel like that's going to change this weekend.
I feel like it'll change too.
One of them's going to pull through.
One of them's going to pull through, and the way I see it, Brad Keselowski's going to pull through, and he's going to win at Phoenix.
I could see that.
I could definitely see that.
I mean, they ran well there in the fall too, so like.
It's not just Keselowski. I mean, Logano runs well there too. So does Blaney whenever he's not wrecked. But
the last couple of years, the Penske guys have been about the guys to beat at Phoenix. Really, Ford itself.
Yeah. So that's just how I feel. Keselowski's gonna win. Harrison Burton's gonna win. And I guess we'll leave it off there. It was an interesting first stream. Actually, you know what? No. We're gonna go through the comments from the community post. I forgot about those. We're 32 minutes in, by the way, guys. But drop a like if you want more of this. I definitely want to do more of this. We're gonna go through the comments now from the community post just to see what people had to say. Let's go to the first one. Why do so few fans I can't even pronounce the name. Why do so few fans regard Brad Keselowski? I feel as if he's given far too little credit because he's a respectful driver who admits to his own mistakes. Got anything for that?
I feel like he's the most, out of all the guys, he's probably the most unappreciated out of the past champions and veterans of the sport, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because he won he won the championship early in his career, like Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch won in 2004, and he's gone 16 years without winning another one. But I mean, Kurt Busch, he's kind of picked it up ever since his whole debacle from Phoenix Racing in 2012, and then he matured a bit in 2013, and then it's just going up and up and up from there. An interesting stat: Kurt Busch has won at least one race a year since 2014.
That's interesting.
It's an interesting stat.
It happens out of nowhere too. It doesn't happen like when you're expecting it or anything like that. He just wins.
Yeah. I think you'll see Kurt Busch start to pick up the pace a little bit this week. This week, and eventually throughout the year, you'll see him pick up. Who's your favorite driver to win the Bristol Dirt Race? I know who yours is.
You don't even have to ask me that question.
I will say I think the favorites are Larson and Bell. I'm pretty sure those are the top two favorites. You got Chris Windom, who's going to come in World of Outlaws driver. He's going to run in the 15 car, so I
Yeah.
don't really know how well he's going to do there. It's going to be interesting, though. It's 250 laps. Cup cars haven't raced on dirt since the 70s. We'll have to see, but I definitely think I feel like it'll be either Larson or Bell, just the top two favorites heading into that race. That was from Top Clips 46. Thanks for the comment. Literally, the dude's name is Bruh, who commented. Should we hit the panic button on Matty D yet, or is it a bit too early? And can he pan it out soon? This is a contract year, so important for him to do good.
I think it's almost time to hit the panic button.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really. He had a decent run going to Vegas too. Like, he was just outside the top 10. You kind of figured, because he finished second there both times last year, and I kind of knew heading into the race that he would, because he was starting to eat from the field. I'm like, he's probably going to be up there. I don't think he'll contend for the win, but he might contend for a top 10. I mean, he was up there, and then he had some sort of issue, and it's just hurting his run. He's 30th in points right now. He's clearly dug himself a hole. It's very early on, though, so, like, that team could get hot at the right time, but, right now it's not looking good for him. I wouldn't hit it too soon.
Only the second season.
I wouldn't hit it too soon yet. We'll just have to wait and see. Should grass be? That was from Brett. Thank you, Brett Barker. Should grass be converted to turf at NASCAR tracks, or should the splitters be removed? The splitters should definitely be removed. They definitely should be removed. I'm not against putting artificial turf in. I think it's cool at Charlotte. I just don't want to see every single track do it. And I mean, people were complaining about that at Daytona. From, Allmendinger spinning out and clipping the grass and the splitter just tearing it up. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think. They're definitely not going to do that at Daytona, because if they do that at Daytona, then think about the work they got to go through, because they run the Monster Energy Supercross bikes down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're never going to do it at Daytona. They're just never going to do it, because it
They won't do it at Daytona either.
No. Oh, God, no. No, they're not going to do it at the super speedways. That was from Brett Barker. Thanks for the comment. Based on the past 4 races, do you think Kyle Busch will win a race or make the first round of the playoffs?
Yes.
Or make it past the first. I guess he's trying to say make it past the first round. I definitely think he'll make it past the first round. Will he win? Yeah, I think he'll win. I'll say as many as 3. He'll win 3 races before they get to the start of the playoffs.
I think that's fair.
It's fair. I think it'll happen. It'll happen during the summer too. Like, he'll get hot at that time.
He always does. That seems to be his sweet spot.
That was from Hold Up. I don't know how to pronounce it, but thanks. Saito Brown, what are your thoughts on Larson's dominant performance on Sunday? It felt good to see him run up front again. I mean, kind of felt like he was going to win at Homestead, because, he came so close so many times at Homestead, but he just didn't have enough car to do it like Byron had, or even Tyler Reddick. If Tyler Reddick would have gone by Truex and Larson early on, like a few laps earlier, I think he would have won. But that's just me. So, it kind of figured that, Larson would continue his streak. Like, it's not, I wouldn't say streak, but he would continue running in the top 5, top 10s. Like that area. As soon as he took the lead, it was just like, he was the car to beat. Like, you couldn't, or catching him's one thing, passing him's another. You couldn't really do that. You'd have to rack them up and stack them up on the restarts over and over and over to do that. So, I would say it shocked me a little bit, just because I didn't expect him to win this early in his first few starts with Hendrick Motorsports, because a lot of people were thinking that it was going to take a while for that 5 team to get going, but they've picked it up pretty quick. And it's not just them, because right now, driver points, Larson's third. If you go in the playoff format, he's behind Denny Hamlin because Hamlin's got all those stage wins. But you look at Larson, he's running well. Chase Elliott, he's running well. William Byron, he's improved a lot this year. And Alex Bowman, I would say Bowman's the worst, but he's still pretty quick. Like, he might not get in the top 10s a lot, but I'd say he's still pretty... He's the slowest Hendrick car, but he's not the worst. If you're catching my drift.
Which was probably a little unexpected.
Because they're not all bad. Do you think... thanks, Adam. Carlos Holloway, do you think Ryan Blaney will win the championship?
No, I don't right now, personally.
I think eventually his time will come. You know, maybe after Keselowski's gone, Logano's gone, whenever that happens for Logano. I honestly, I think Keselowski's going to be out of the two after this year. I don't know where he's going to go, but I don't see him coming back to Penske because it's a one-year deal this year. I don't see him coming back. But his time will come, like Chase Elliott's will come. He just has to be patient for it. NASCAR fan 482, is Ben Rhodes a championship favorite this season? Honestly, yes, he's definitely a championship favorite. I would say that because I wouldn't. Well, it's kind of tough because I didn't expect him to win this year, and he won the first two races, and he's shown that he's got speed in the truck. Let's see, where did he finish?
He didn't do it off of luck.
That's true. He didn't do it off of luck. He finished 10th at Las Vegas. So it's definitely going to carry momentum in the playoffs, and it's going to carry, like, you know, that advantage of having the wins and the points and whatnot. But, yeah, look for him to be a championship favorite. Polish Hammer. Does Michael McDowell get past the round of 16? You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, because I'm pretty sure that by the time it comes playoffs, Front Row Motorsports, they're going to do something out of their way to make sure McDowell has the best equipment, best shocks, track bar, whatever it is. Make sure he has the best everything, basically. I'm pretty sure they're already planning about, you know, getting newer cars, newer equipment, newer whatever it is.
If he can make it out of that first round, those races in the second round, they're pretty favorable for them. You got
the Charlotte Road Course to cap off the round of two, or the second round. You have the race at Dega. That's a wild card. Anyone can win that. I mean, you saw McDowell win the 500. He can easily go out there and win the wild card race at Talladega. Yeah, so I just saw a weird commercial.
All right. Besides Vegas, I mean, yeah, Roval and Dega.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll just have to see. Raven asks, Simple, how are you today? I'm pretty good. I've stuffed myself with Chinese food, and that's probably going to be my only meal of the day. Andrea Riggs, what is the best paint scheme so far in the 2021 NASCAR season? I'm going to just say it. The Armor All car from Eric Jones for the Daytona 500. It didn't last long, but it was a pretty looking car.
Yeah, it was.
It stood out so well. Shame it got taken out so quick. But I think it's the best paint scheme this year. Which Kyle is better? Well, right now, considering Larson just won, probably Larson.
Yeah,
led over 100 laps and won. I think that's it. I don't think there's any other comments after that. Nope. Alright, so where are we at? 44 minutes. I'd say that's a pretty good first stream. Just thank everyone for watching, liking, subscribing. We're going to do more of this. It's going to be better next time. I'm still trying to get myself adjusted with OBS, but I'll work on it. And until then, see you guys.